In this video, we will look at two methods of finding top sales by a sales rep. We will first look at Excel method using a running countif and then do it in Microsoft Power Query. Our data has some sales by order date rep, which stands for representative, region, and item. We would like to retain only rows where each rep has the highest total. Keep in mind that each rep has more than one sales, and this data is by sales rep and order date. Let's quickly create a copy of regional tab, just in case. You do that by holding down the control key and then moving the tab icon until you see a small icon with spreadsheet and plus icon. As soon as you release it, it gets copied and a new sheet has been created. Now let's start creating our running countifs formula. Important to note that the data is sorted by highest to lowest. If it's not sorted, you need to sort this. So let's do that. As a quick side note, we will convert this into a range. That is easier to work with Excel formulas. So from the table design, I will just say convert to range, click on yes, and that's it. I'm going to rename the tab and say countifs. All right. Our countifs formula takes in criteria range and then criteria as parameters. So let me open up the formula. You can see criteria range 1 and then criteria. So for criteria range, we will select rep column from C2 through C44. We will freeze this. We do that by using F4. Go back at the top. For the criteria, we will select the same column, that is C2, that is the rep. Click on OK. We paste this till the end. We give this a header name. Let's call it countif. Paste some formatting on it. Let's apply a filter. Now this is a normal countif, which is working fine, but it shows same count in each instance of rep. For example, if we filter by Smith, we see 3 in each of the rows, as it has 3 total rows, which is correct. Let me clear the filter. We will modify this formula a bit to match our need. So let's go back to the formula. What we need is the range to continue to expand while keeping start cell as fixed. So let's edit it, click on F2. So what we need to do is we need to remove the freeze from the second range, ending range, and change this to C2. Start copy, pasting it down, and you can see now our range is expanding, but our starting criteria is fixed. So let's paste this till the end. Now let's check again for Smith. And now we see instance number in each row. So this is sales number 1, this is sales number 2, this is sales row number 3, with 1 representing the highest total, as we sorted this in highest to lowest. Now we can check this for some other as well. So let's check it for Jardine. And we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 for each 5 respective rows. Let's clear the filter. Now you can simply select all rows other than 1 and remove these rows. So we can do is we will use Alt plus colon. What this will do is it will only select the visible rows. As you can see the small white lines here. Click on Control minus, which will delete these rows. Remove the filter and you get your sales by rep by highest total. Now we will try to replicate this in Microsoft Power Query. So go back to the original tab, click anywhere on the table and go to the data tab if not already selected. Click on from table / range. This opens up the Power Query editor. Rename the query. Let's call it helper _ query. Now there is no direct way to do this in Power Query, so we will use a workaround. So we will do a group by on the rep column. So click on the rep column from the home tab, click on group by. So we will change the column name to, we will call it max _ total. On the operation, we will change this to max, and for the column, we will say total. So what we are saying is we want a new column that will named max _ total, which will be the max value of the total column. Click on OK. And this gives a rep name and the max total value. Now we need the rest of information as well. To get that back, we will duplicate this query. We do that by right clicking on this query and selecting duplicate. Let's rename this newly created query. Let's call it final _ query. Now we can move this to new group. We can right click and say new group, and we can say final _ result. Click on OK. And now we have 2 different sections. If you want to keep things organized, this is really helpful when there are a large number of queries. So move to the final query. We will delete the last step, that is group rows. We get our data in the original format. So now we will merge this query with the helper query on rep column and total column. So on the main query, click on merge queries. By default, it merges on the same query. You can drop down and select merge queries as new as well, but we will skip that for now. So let's just select merge queries for now. Select the helper query in the second table. So this is first table that is being merged, and this is what it is being merged with. So it's kind of a lookup in Excel terms. Now in the main query, press and hold Control key, as we need to select 2 columns. First column you want to select is rep, and the second column you want to select is total. and you can see there is a small 1 and 2 with it, which means that the merge will be on these two columns and it will be on this sequence. So it's like a key that is being created, but it's just not being created physically. So in the second query, we just select these two columns as we want the merge on rep and the max total. Keep in mind that the column names are a bit different, which is not a problem with Power Query. So this is total column, this is also total column. We will leave the join kind as left outer, and in this section you can see the selection matches 11 of 43 rows. So these are the 11 values that we will want to retain. So click on OK. Now the merge table has been added as a new column. You can see helper query and it says table. Click on the table, you can see the values that are being stored there as a table. Now click on the icon with the arrows facing opposite direction. This usually stands for extracting table values. Deselect the original column name as prefix and click on OK. We will keep the expand selected. Click on OK. And we have the merged values. So we will deselect the null values from rep1 column. So let's do that. Click on OK. This now gives us the same total sales by rep by total. We can now delete the rep1 and max total column. Keep in mind that deleting these two columns will not affect our Power Query, even though that we have done some filtering on this column, which is a good thing in Power Query. A bit different behavior than what normally Excel does. Right click on it and say remove columns. These two columns are gone. Click on close and load. Now we can see that two queries have been loaded. So this is the first query. This is helper query. We don't really need the helper query to be loaded. So let's right click on it. Select load to, and here we will say only create a connection. Click on OK. It will give us a warning that the table will be deleted. That is fine with us. Click on OK. We will delete the tab as well. So press Alt EL separately. Click on delete and it's gone. So let's put the two queries side by side just for quick comparison. One thing I want to fix is that the order date is in a bit different format. So let's double click on it and change this format to date. We don't need the time. As you can see, the time is just 12 AM. So let's just change this to date. You can also change this here manually. So here it says date time. If we just change this to date here, this gets fixed as well. So we don't need the extra step. You can manually modify the M code as well if it's a really simple step. Click on OK. Now let's just, for reference, I'm going to copy and paste this here just for a quick comparison, and we get the same values. And that's it. Now you know two ways to select highest sales value by rep and total using Microsoft Excel and Power Query. If you like the content, show appreciation by liking and sharing the videos. Should you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to add them in the comment section. Till next time, happy learning.